Last time on MasterChef Australia.
Keep it simple. You haven't got long.
A double elimination saw the end of the MasterChef journey for both Amina and Jules.
You know, I'm proud of what I've achieved up until now, so I was proud walking out of those doors.
And for the top 10 amateur cooks, the next stop on their culinary journey was revealed.
Next week, you'll be cooking in Italy!
I can't wait because I reckon it's going to be an awesome time.
Tonight, it's time to buckle up for a pre-flight masterclass.
With a little trip in mind, I'm feeling pretty good about stuff. Who's up for some fun?
Yeah.
Gary serves up a spectacular seafood dish that's the perfect winter warmer.
I like it because it's a soupy kind of dish. So we just need crusty bread and chips, basically,
Yeah.
don't we?
Matt Moran uses a little Heston magic for his cauliflower and white chocolate ice cream.
Such an unusual combination, but I love it.
And Gary finishes up with hearty beef and Guinness pies.
Real beef pie. Oh, that's good.
Whoa.
Burning up in my heart like a flame, like a brighter shooting star in our souls. We all know our dreams make us who we are. We got today, so spin me round and show me the way back to burning up in my heart like a flame, like a brighter shooting star in our souls. We all know our dreams make us who we are.
Buongiorno. Oh, in good spirits. I love it.
Pretty good.
Hey, you got to be full of beans. Good morning. Welcome to the MasterChef kitchen. And you should be all smiles because...
We're going to Italy!
What a destination.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's going to be funny is George is going to come back at least 3 dress sizes bigger than he left. I can say that because he's not here. But let's look at the week that we've just had, and it's been a turbulent one. There's been some great moments, and I'm going to start with you, Kylie. Heston Blumenthal, mega invention test, and you creamed it.
That, for me, is a great example how you can take 2 ingredients that you don't think go together, make them work in a really surprising and exciting way.
Winning streak?
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to keep it going. I was fortunate enough to win that challenge and then go on to win the immunity and then captain a winning team as well.
Along with the good stuff, there was also the bad stuff. We lost 3 people this week. First of all, it was Andrew.
See you all soon.
And then we had a double elimination where we lost Amina and Jules.
Catch you later.
Audrey, you're very close to Amina, yeah?
Yeah. She is just an amazing spirit. I mean, she's just one of those people that she walks into a room and it just lights up.
Shines, yeah, her face lights up the room.
Yeah.
Right, enough of all that. Let's get down to some business. Today's masterclass, someone is going to have to step up. And we're going to do a little Aussie favourite. Actually, a little Gary favourite. What are you doing?
Mate, I'm off the Heston challenge. I'm actually going to do something a little bit interesting, cauliflower and chocolate.
Ooh. Does that work, I wonder?
Well, strangely enough, Heston...
It does.
Strangely enough, Heston was actually in for dinner last night and I was practising it and I gave him a bite.
Oh, you got the thumbs up from Heston. Brilliant stuff. All right, well, that's your job done for the
Nice.
minute. I've got some work to do. I'll see you
guys
later.
in a little bit.
Who's up for some fun? Yep. Yeah, me too. I'm feeling, I don't know, with a little trip in mind, I'm feeling pretty good about stuff. So I'm going to do a nice little dish. This is a sort of winter warmer and a favourite of mine. I'm going to do roasted blue-eye trevally, also known as cod, with black mussels and a basil butter. And I like it because it's a soupy kind of dish, and I like the simplicity of them. I loved your Asian style, Mindy, when you did that sort of wonderful little aromatic curry. But because I'm French trained, I always love that sort of Frenchified, slightly creamy, slightly buttery version of mussels, which is absolutely delicious. So that's what we're going to do. Bo,
Yep.
Bo, you've already come up and volunteered in the past and helped me cook something, so I need another volunteer today. And strangely, it's you, Mindy.
All right.
So you come up here and you're going to sort of cook along with me. You're over that side. I like this little mirror. It's good, isn't it? It's fun. Actually, just give us a round of applause just because. I like that. I think if you could walk out of your front door every day and get a round of applause, it'd make you feel $1 million bucks. Right. So what we're going to do is roasted blue eye, black mussels, basil butter. First of all, we have to make the basil butter. That's the special bit. So we can share this, all right? Because we're going to blanch the basil because I want to keep it really, really green. So to do that, lots of boiling water, pinch of salt, grab our basil.
Thank you.
And let's pick a good amount of that because we're going to throw that into the boiling water. And we've got a little amount of butter here. There's probably about 150 grams of butter there. And a blender. All right, pop your butter in. This basil into that boiling water. And we'll just give it a second or two just to set the colour. You see it go, you know, that bright, vibrant green. All right. So that's long enough. We'll just pull that out.
So just blanching it like you would do spinach?
Yeah, absolutely. Here, you can have it over there now. That's it, and then you can do that hard work, and I can do the next bit. So all we're going to do is once that's blanched, we're going to squeeze that out, and it can go into cold water. It doesn't have to go into ice water. If you get them off hot, then you've stopped the cooking process. Looking good?
Fantastic. Smells amazing.
Smells
actually.
nice. All right, all good?
All good.
So basically what you want to do is just put a couple of twists of pepper into the butter, a few twists of salt, and then I want to blend that butter a little bit so it's smooth. All right?
Looks smooth.
In the basil, in with the basil.
Let me just go drain mine off. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, it's getting
good.
there. So, nice basil smell.
Smells
you know,
fantastic.
nice and green. Because you blanched it, it's going to stay that colour. And we're actually going to shake this through a hot sauce at the end, all right? So it's then that it'll really release that basil flavour. Do you like the butter?
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it? Very good. All right, so now we're going to cook our fish. This is blue eye, all right? So it's a very dense textured fish. It's blue eye trevally. So hot pan down to a low heat, and then I'm going to add some oil, a little bit of salt, and then into the pan, and I want you to keep your fingers on that fish to keep the skin flat, all right? Because it's just buckling up a little bit. It will relax, and you can actually feel that relax at a point. So I just want to show you, I'm going to keep it on the skin side, but just what you're looking for. Flat bit of skin, skin's starting to get crispy, all right? But it has to cook for the majority of the time on the skin. Right. So let's cook our mussels, because while that fish is cooking, that's going to take about 6 minutes. The mussel soup, which is really a dish on its own, is the next
Fantastic.
step. All right? These are our mussels,
Beautiful.
okay?
Let me grab mine.
Just so you can keep it all together. They're the vegetables you're going to cook with the mussels: carrot, celery, zucchini, onions, and garlic. And you should also have some thyme, because that's an important part, getting some flavour into those mussels when we cook them. We're also going to have white wine, all right? So we've got a bit of heat in the pan again. Let's just reduce the heat so we can control it, all right? A little bit of oil. I'm going to put our vegetables in. No particular order, including thyme. But I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in. And then pretty much straight away, we're going to load our mussels in.
I absolutely love mussels.
Smells good already, doesn't it? Get those vegetables over the mussels, keep the heat in the pan, turn the heat up if you need to, and then add the wine. And we've got about 200 mils of wine there. And what that does is create a nice, steamy environment for the mussels to cook in, all right?
Very gentle way of cooking, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and they'll literally take a few minutes, okay?
I love mussels just because they're just so easy to cook. They'll take on any flavour. Cheap. And they're so quick. A couple of minutes, you've got a beautiful seafood dish.
Absolutely. Now, what we're going to put in there is cream. We've got about a cup of cream. And, of course, we're going to have basil butter just to
No chilies, Mindy.
reinforce the calories.
I know, no chilies.
No chilies.
It's okay. You know, this is my field of expertise, what I love. And I love the delicate flavours. I love the subtlety in French cooking. And then I love a big hit. You know, it's like the sweet and sour. You know, it's the hot and the cool.
Yeah.
All works brilliantly together. Let's have a look at that fish and see how we're going. See how gentle we're cooking it?
Yeah.
All right? So I just having a look, but again, keeping it cooking most of the time on the skin. It's not burning, it's doing its stuff. It's been about 4 minutes so far. So we're doing quite well. Remember, we're doing roasted blue-eye trevally, also known as cod, with our black mussels and a basil butter. Fish is cooking, been in the pan for about 4 minutes, on the skin. Reminder that cooking it on the skin is going to protect that lovely, soft, white fish. Mussels now about 2 to 3 minutes. About that. Let's have a look.
Oh, yeah.
Doing their thing. See how they've opened up, right?
Yum.
And then I'm going to do this. You should have a colander underneath your bench. I want all of that mussel vegetable mixture out. And then I want all of the juice back in. Because all of this is flavour, all right? This is the quickest, tastiest fish stock you'll ever make in your life,
Yeah.
all right?
Oh, it is
Absolutely
actually, isn't
delicious. I want that on full bore and starting to reduce. So how's your fish cooking? Is it going all right?
It looks absolutely beautiful.
I can see some little protein starting to leak out.
Yeah,
on
that's
the
why I'm
side.
just removing it
So
away
let's
from the heat a little bit.
flip them over and have a look. So I've turned mine over.
I think that looks beautiful.
And I reckon mine is going to start cooking through almost with the heat of the pan now. So what I've done is I've shoved it over to one side. I'm going to flip the heat off. I'm going to pop a little bit of butter. And if you can grab some thyme. You know the George and Gary trick. It's always going to be like this. I'm going to put a little bit of butter in the pan because the flavour of the butter is going to be creamy and wonderful. Some thyme. A little bit of seasoning. You see the temperature of my pan is a bit higher than yours?
A little bit.
Because what I want to do is just baste that fish, all right? You want to make sure that the skin remains crisp, and then we're good to go.
Guys, this smells amazing. Beautiful.
So I'm just going to take this fish out because I know that's cooked, all right? It feels nice and firm, the skin's crispy, and then I just want it, because this, in a restaurant, this is the resting point, right? You're just going to leave that in a warm spot whilst the rest of the dish is getting close to being ready. And we're nearly there. We're looking good.
Quick dish.
Cream.
It's fantastic.
So put our cream in.
Whoa. My family and friends are not going to believe the fact that I'm cooking with so much butter, so much cream. I'm eating so much dessert.
No secrets. Feed everybody
Absolutely.
else,
Well, I'm absolutely loving it. It's great. It's beautiful.
So I know I've got a bit more juice in there, so I'm going to pop that. And then what I want to do is I want a couple of mussels that I'm going to use just as almost like, hey, I'm being cooked in the shell, I'm looking gorgeous, all right? And the rest of them, we're just going to pop, and I'm going to turn the gas off, actually, pop that into your soup, all right? So it's just going to take a minute or two.
You're leaving the vegetables out of it completely?
Well, we want the vegetables because we're going to put them into the... So it's only the shells that we're discarding at this stage, all right? Because all of this goes back into the soup.
I actually really love leaving the shells because you can actually use them as a little ladle and just scoop up all those beautiful juices.
Yeah. All right, vegetables back in.
I cannot wait to try it, actually. I haven't done mussels this way.
Why don't we just try it like this
can
first? Yeah. Maybe sneak in a little mussel. Yum.
Oh, wow.
Yum. Right.
It is beautiful.
Wait till you do this.
Amazing, we haven't actually put much salt in there, but it's definitely got a kick of salt.
You don't need to add any more at all. So now what we're going to do is put little blobs of basil butter.
Little.
You can put as much or as little as you want. And the whole idea now is that this is going to go lovely and green, and it's going to flavour the sauce with the basil. And the only thing left to do is add a little splash of lemon.
Wow, that has changed it completely. The green. It's the green.
All right, so time to serve up. So we're going to put the mussels in the bowl. God, I'm hungry.
Have you got a plate over there for me? I'm just going to straight out of the pan.
You can do yours in the pan. Do you want to do it in the pan?
Look, I would be happy to actually sit with this in front of me.
If I was at home, it'd stay in the pan.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Let's go rustic.
Have the home version.
Gorgeous. So there it is. I'm pretty happy with that. There's mine and Mindy's roasted blue-eye trevally with black mussels and a basil butter.
Yum.
You want to taste?
Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Bendy. Come on, Ben. Let's go, girl.
I love the basil that you get through there, yeah? And the meatiness of the fish as well. Oh, I'm going to take this home.
I'm just loving that the veggies still have that crunch. I think it gives it that perfect texture balance. Oh. Cheers.
That's almost like an oyster.
So we just need crusty bread and chips, basically, don't we? Right, that's it. Beautiful. Sit down.
Well done, guys. Awesome. Beautiful.
I love it when you... all that's left, and that's what comes back into the kitchen. Dunsky. Beautiful. Mindy, well done. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, good cooking. Go and sit back down.
Thank you.
Nice first dish. I feel good now. I'm ready for the rest of the day. Deb, something that you've taken away from that little lesson from Mindy and I?
I think it's just the simplicity and that the balance of using the vegetables just as they are, and allowing those flavours to integrate.
Okay. My two key techniques that I'd take away from that little lesson would be how to carry flavour. Something like mussels, a little bit of white wine. There's no stock involved at all, and yet the flavour, absolutely incredible. And how wonderful is that? My second technique is that basil butter. You think about how many dishes you could carry that across, and your imagination starts going wild. So think about basic recipes as just building blocks to better things, greater things.
Today I'm cooking cauliflower and white chocolate ice cream with a caramelised bread, cauliflower and vanilla puree, a nutmeg sponge and some fresh raspberries.
Weird.
Weird?
Weird.
It is weird, but it tastes good. Right, guys, first thing we're going to do, we're going to do some caramelised bread. I have to say, I love this bread. You know, it's actually better using a mish or a rye bread, and it just gets hard and nutty, and I just love it to death. So all it is, a little bit of butter in a pot. It's 100 grams of butter, some honey, 150 grams of honey. We're going to let that melt together. We're going to break up the bread into little pieces, as I'll show you. You can use a little bit of the crust if you really want to. I actually like the centre bit. So I've just got some little pieces. Try to keep it fluffy. Don't, when you crumble it, don't push it down so it becomes a dough. Right. See that? Now it's starting to boil. The butter's starting to melt. It's not caramelising. And do is just very carefully. Can you see that there now? Yeah? It's just really dripping. Make sure it's all nicely soaked, and then put it into the strainer and just let all that excess sort of drip off it. Right, you can see that now it's all nicely soaked. Just carefully put it on a tray. We're going to put that in the oven for about 10 minutes at 200 degrees. to let it caramelise a little bit on the outside, and then we'll turn it down to 80 for about an hour and let it dry completely out. Next step, cauliflower and white chocolate ice cream. Sounds a bit weird. It actually does really work. Now what we're going to do, we're just going to infuse that flavour into the white chocolate ice cream. So how we start with that is our cauliflower and 375 mils of cream. While we're doing that, we're actually going to make our anglaise ice cream base. So another pot. So we've got some milk, 500 mils. We're going to turn our milk on. We're going to pour the hot milk onto our sugar and eggs. Now, egg yolks, 180 grams of egg yolks, or roughly 6 yolks themselves. 125 grams of sugar, and that's caster sugar. Now you can see now that's starting to get a little bit pale, and if I do that, I can get the figure 8 on it. That's whisk enough. You can see our milk now starting to boil. Now, a lot of people would actually do this over a bain-marie, which is fine, but it's the slow way of doing it. If you're really confident, you're a confident cook, you'll actually just do it straight on the normal stove and back yourself that you won't curdle it. All right, guys, that's cooked. You can see it's coated the back of the spoon. If I run my finger along, it's not going to fall down. So I quickly take it off. I'm going to strain it anyway, just in case there are little bits that have cooked too much. And then straight on ice. Right, as that's cooling, 250 grams of white chocolate. But make sure you add that chocolate while the actual anglaise is still hot. Now that will melt really quickly because it's grated. Yeah. Now our cauliflower cream. Just get a fork, push it through the cauliflower, and you know that it's cooked. That's been on there now for about 12 minutes. I reckon I've got enough flavour out of that cauliflower. I'm just going to strain it. So we need 250 mils of our cream. And we're going to add that to our anglaise. Pour in our ice cream. Next step, our cauliflower puree. We've all had cauliflower puree before. It's quite intense. This, we need that subtle flavour again. So what we're going to do is add a little bit of sugar to it to sweeten it up and some vanilla bean. So the best way to do it is get some cauliflower and we're going to slice it really fine. 225 grams. Right, into a pot. Turn it on. 375 mils of milk. And we've got a little bit of vanilla bean here. What I'm going to do is just split that and put that in with the milk and cauliflower itself. Just open it up a little bit and just take some of the seeds out. Just stir it around a little bit. Let that come to the boil and let it cook for about 10 or 15 minutes until it gets nice and tender. So today I'm making cauliflower and white chocolate ice cream with a caramelised bread, cauliflower and vanilla puree, a nutmeg sponge and some fresh raspberries. All right, that's about 15 minutes now. As you can see, our cauliflower is pretty much mush. So we're just going to drain that excess milk off. And most importantly, we do not want to puree our vanilla bean. Right, so into our food processor.
It was only 375 milk.
So we're just going to start to blend that. 45 grams of sugar, caster sugar, and 50 mils of cream. I don't want any lumps in it whatsoever. We're going to just rub it through a sieve. Right. So once the puree's done, you need to let it cool. You can either put it in the refrigerator or, as I'm going to do, on ice. Next step, we're going to make a nutmeg sponge. First thing to do, in a bar blender. Egg whites, 200 grams. Sugar, caster, 180 grams. 40 grams of flour. 60 grams of egg yolks, which is the equivalent to 3 egg yolks. Right, now a little bit of fresh nutmeg. Always better when it's fresh, guys. Just grated. Not too much. You just want that flavour to sort of permeate through your sponge. About half a teaspoon. Bar blender. It's going to blitz it.
Nice colour.
So it's all nicely incorporated. Smell it. Make sure you can smell the nutmeg. If you don't smell the nutmeg, nutmeg's not strong enough, put a little bit more in. We're going to put the mix in the gun.
Is there a minimum level that you should put liquid into a cream gun if you're going to do this?
Yeah, look, the less liquid in there, the more bulbs you're going to have to put in there, yeah? Because you've got to fill the gun itself, yeah?
Okay.
So for this, it's about half full. You're going to need about 4 bulbs.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot. We really need to get some air in there, yeah? So, lid on. Have you all used a gun before? Just give it a little bit of a shake every time you do it. Of course, we're going to cook this in the microwave. We need something to cook it in. So we're just going to use a little takeaway cup, but because we need the steam to come out of it when it starts to cook, we're just going to get a knife and just punch a couple of holes in the bottom of our cup. We're just going to fill it up to a little over half. 40 seconds for our sponge. Let that cook. Have a look at our ice cream. Perfectly churned, ready to go. Our bread is still drying. Luckily, earlier on, I did a sample lot, so we're going to use that to plate up and I'll show you.
Okay, ready, ready, 1, 2, 3.
And there we have our 40-second
Cool.
sponge.
Wow, cool.
So we're just going to let that cool slightly in there. And what we're going to do is get a knife and go around it and then just bring it out. I'm just going to break it off and put it on the dessert. Right, plate up time.
Here we go.
So our ring down, we've got our cauliflower puree. Middle of the plate. Now we all know how beautiful this is. Our bread that we did earlier. So a couple of little larger ones. So we're going to get some nice big raspberries. Flatten them out. Now grab our sponge. Just sort of fill in those spots where you see the puree. Right, grab some cress. And just let it fall. Some beautiful little flowers. Yep. Ice cream. Just gonna put 2 little quenelles. The finishing touch is the ice cream's nice and soft. So let's just get a few more crumbs and just put some more crumbs on top.
Yeah, wow.
So there we have it, guys. Our cauliflower and white chocolate ice cream with our cauliflower vanilla bean puree on the bottom. We've got our caramelised bread, fresh raspberries, and some little flowers on top. Now, who wants to taste it? Bo?
Yeah, I'll have a
Come
go.
on, buddy. And what about you, Julia? Get all those components
I'll get a bit
in
of
there.
ice cream first.
Bit of ice cream.
The thing I finish with is the raspberries, but the crunch from that bread is amazing, and then there's just little hints of cauliflower that come through it.
But you still get that white chocolate, don't you?
Yeah, and the vanilla.
Yeah.
That sort of makes it all smoother.
Yeah.
Such an unusual combination, but I love it.
It is an unusual combination, but hey, that's Heston, isn't it? Huh? He's always going to come up with something wacky. Thanks, Dyson. Sit back down. Alice, any key techniques that you learnt out of that?
I really thought that the microwave sponge is something that we can sort of take away because it adds a really interesting dimension of texture.
Yeah, absolutely. You can add different flavours to that and you're still going to get that element of texture which is nice and soft. Yeah. Right, so key technique is subtlety with the cauliflower. You know, make sure if you are using something a little bit unusual, you don't let it dominate. If you get a big flavour, you don't want it to be dominated, just have little subtle hints of it in there.
Right, next up on MasterClass.
Gary's beef pie.
This is, honestly, a sexy beef pie. So, what do we need? Beef. And we're going to do beef and Guinness. Don't have to do Guinness, but using stout with onions and beef is a classic. So, when you make a stew, when you make a beef filling, it's about choosing the right cut. Anybody going to go, yeah, I know what I'm going to use? Chuck, absolutely. You're going to use blade steak, ox cheek, right? Use shin, you know, what they call gravy beef. Anything with a lot of connective tissue that's really, you know, tight, that works hard, that is not what they call a primary or a sweet cut. The reason we like this, and this is chuck steak, is because it's got little lines of connective tissue, fat, things that are going to break down, things that if you were to fry it would be really chewy, but as it braises, becomes gelatinous and soft and delicious. All right? Really important. Right, so first step, let's get this beef on the go. What are we going to do? I know you know.
Seal the beef.
We're going to... No, we're not going to seal the beef. I didn't say that. We don't seal it, do we?
We brown it, we caramelise.
We're going to caramelise it because as soon as it hits the hot pan, yeah, stresses the surface, breaks those little cells, out pops moisture. And it's the moisture plus the content of those little cells, which include sugars, which caramelise, right? So I'm making sure I'm seasoning this beef well. I'm caramelising it in batches, and then I'm going to load it later on into a pot that's going to be full of those caramelised onions. So I've got 4 onions sliced into a nice big pot. All right, and we're going to start cooking those down. So remember, it starts off a little slowly, starts to sweat them, keep the heat up until they start to caramelise, and then as they start to darken, turn the heat down and continue to soften. So remember what we're looking for, lots of caramelisation. When you're doing it at home, Just remember, windows open, fan on, just go for your life. Right, so these onions are colouring up. Right, just going to chop some garlic, because that's going to go in with the onions.
Yum.
All right, and a lot of garlic.
Yum. Great.
Why not? I think there's probably a little bit too much garlic. Oh, just a couple of cloves. Yum. That's going to keep the vampires away, isn't it? Because we meet vampires all the time, we just don't know it. Because we eat lots of garlic. Right. Yeah. So garlic in. Yeah. And our onions are getting pretty close. Getting nice and soft. Great for a burger, huh?
Whoa.
What is it with flames? Everybody goes, woo!
Drama.
So, there's a lot of flavour in this pan, I'll tell you. Last little bit of beef, and I'm going to pop the carrots in as well. Thyme's going to go in with the onions, thyme and bay leaves, quite generous with that. And then carrots in with that last batch of beef. Again, caramelisation, 1 whole carrot chopped up for extra sweetness. So these onions really dark now, smell delicious, flavour of thyme coming through, flavour of garlic's coming through. Exactly what I want. I'm going to put that flour in, 1.5 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons. And it's just important just to give that a few minutes, just to cook out like a little roux. And it's going to add some thickness to the sauce. But most of the thickness for this pie is going to come from reduction, all right? And you've also got a really fibrous meat. So when it goes in the pie filling, we're going to tear that apart and then throw it all in. Lots of flavour and it will hold sauce. I like this frying bit. It's good. Just fry stuff. Makes me feel like I'm doing a good job. Right. The Guinness.
Ooh, here we
it's
go.
not for the pie.
It's just for Gary.
Oh, and it's got the little surge. Love that.
Ah.
Right. So, Guinness in. So I'm just going to put about 3/4 of that in there.
Gary, how much Guinness have you got in that can?
Please drink responsibly. Yeah, 440. 440 mil. Right. So that last little bit now. And again, I've got all this sticky, caramelised, beautiful juice on here. If I just get a bit of bread and get that in there, I'd be happy. So back on the heat, and then use the remaining Guinness just to deglaze all those juices off the bottom of the pan. Just tease those, encrusted bits of sediment off the bottom. Just give it a minute or two to do its magic. And then we're going to put all this beef back into the onions, remember? So we've got our Guinness, our onions, our garlic, our thyme, our bay leaves, in with the beef. Now the juices from the pan. Next up, beef stock. So, litre of beef stock. Allow plenty of time. When you're slow cooking, it's got to be something that you're prepared to wait for. I just want to put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. And that tastes great. I'm really happy. I love my own cooking. It's come up to the boil, which is fantastic. Nothing's sticking. We've stirred it. We know that it's all good to go in the oven. 180 degrees. See you later for a good few hours. I'd say 2.5 hours. So today, I'm making my delicious beef pies. Next step, pastry. And this one's a sour cream pastry. And I tried lots of different pastries, and to be honest, this one is just super crumbly and really quite Moorish. Ben, do you want to come up and help make the pastry? It's going to be nice and easy, nice and quick, so it's cool. Go Ben! So we've got 250 grams of plain flour in the mixer, and you put a paddle attachment on there. You can do this in a food processor, but this is such a soft pastry that I like using the mixer because it's just gentler, all right? Pinch of salt. Always want a pinch of salt. In fact, all of that can go in. Brilliant. And 200 butter. In she goes. And the reason I've diced it up, because basically we're going to make a crumb from that. And if you put in big chunks, it's going to take longer to work. We don't want to work it too long. And then the other component, in a normal short pastry, just use an egg or water to basically do what the sour cream does in this recipe. So a little bit more fat, and that's why it's a shorter pastry. That's brilliant. So we're just, pastry's hard. It's hard.
It's tough, isn't it?
It's tough business. I like it. I like that.
Yeah?
Yep. Gives me time to do other stuff. And the funny thing is, I've got one that I made earlier.
Oh.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Because I'm going to get you to do something with this. That's fine. Turn that off for a sec. Now you're going to add the sour cream, 125. Yep. Flexible spatula is king. Yeah?
We've learnt to use them.
You've learned. It's good, isn't it? All right, go. So what's going to happen with that? It's just going to come together. We're going to take it out, wrap it in cling film, rest it in the fridge.
Yep. Happy?
It's good. I'm happy with that.
Me too.
That's great. I think the most important part to remember about that process is just making that short crumb, because that short crumb is going to, and what I mean by that is butter and the flour is going to travel through into the finished product. All right? Oh, we need a bit of cling film. I was just losing myself a little bit in the wonderfulness of that pastry. Bomb. That feels beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Right, next stage, you've got to roll this pastry out.
Yep.
It's been up to temperature now, so what we do, flick a bit of...
So what shape do you want me to roll it into?
It can be round, because what we're going to do is we've got round pie molds, right, or muffin cups, whatever you want to call them. So we're going to use that as the size to cut it out. What I'm going to do, even though these are non-stick, I'm just going to put very lightly just a tiny bit of oil, because I just want to make sure that these babies come out.
Nice.
I'm getting hungry.
Me too.
Do you like pies?
I love pies. My dad actually
pies.
makes a really good steak and kidney pie.
Does he?
And that's what when you're making it before was reminding me of that.
Yeah.
So how thin do you want it, guys?
Let's have a look. That's perfect. So this is what I want you to do.
Yep.
You can cut them out. And then what we do is we just drop that into the mould itself. And it doesn't matter if it's a little bit crimped, don't mind that. And then I'm going to go to a little thinner bit here. And they're going to be our lids. So once our filling's ready, going to fill it, going to pop that in, and then crimp them together. That's cool. All right. So we need another big one and another 5 little lids.
Rightio.
Yeah. Bit on the thick side, but you like your pastry.
I do.
So that's good. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Back to your seat. Good stuff. Right. Pastry's done, ready to go, looking good. And we can pop this in the fridge just to rest. Take about 20 minutes just so that we don't get a lot of shrinkage when we actually fill the pies.
Cool.
Beef's been in the oven for about 2.5 hours, so it's going to be super tender. Smells good. Very happy with this. So, pop this to a side. We'll let that cool. Right, pull the pastry back out of the fridge, feeling beautiful. Now we've got to fill them. And what happened in the oven is the sauce reduced down, coated the beef. The only little unfriendlies in there that you need to worry about, that you don't want to put in the pie, are things like the thyme, all right? And you can see what's happened is the beef's softened, the gravy's reduced, and essentially what we've got is a really delicious mixture. Okay.
Ooh, it's rich.
Mixture in.
Looks good. I can smell that.
And this is where it gets all good Aussie meat pie-ish, is that you just slam it in. Loving this. Really beautiful. Right, lids to go on. What I'll do is I'll just put a little bit of water on the top of the pastry, all right? And the reason I've left a little bit of border on the pastry is I'm going to crimp that together and fold the base pastry over the lid. So one at a time, so you get a nice little sort of tucked in pie. Right, final little thing, just little hole in each one, just lets any steam out. And then we're going to egg wash these just with an egg yolk. There's not going to be any finesse with these pies, no mash, no onions, no nothing. Okay, pie's in. Oven, 180 degrees, it'll take about 20 minutes, but what you want to make sure that the outside is golden brown, so they're cooked. All right? And in typical MasterClass style, here's some I had prepared earlier. Thank goodness, you say. We don't have to wait 20 minutes for our pies. So, there's a couple of essentials. This is really important. Top-class pies require...
Paper bag.
Paper bag.
Yeah.
Tomato sauce.
Yes.
Gary's beef pie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cute.
Audra.
Yes.
There you go.
Awesome.
Ben, up you come, big boy. Hey.
No, I got to try it without the tomato sauce first.
Actually, I'll just put them on like that. How much squidgy sauce would you like?
Yep.
Done. Now, really hot, be careful. Bo?
Yeah.
Up you come.
Sweet.
Off you go. And Indy? Oh, you want to put
Yes,
your own
please.
sauce on? You want to put your own sauce
Well,
on? Gary's pie.
I like to actually put a little hole in there and squirt it in.
Gary,
That looks good
awesome.
to me.
I have 10 of those, thanks.
It's good, isn't it?
Be careful.
I smell a pie.
Never miss out on the pie.
Gotta
Bust it open,
tomato
stick
sauce.
in some sauce.
No, I like
Get
sauce on
stuck
top.
in. Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I like sticking the sauce in the middle. Oh.
Oh, that's good. That's real beef pie.
Yeah.
So, that's my beef pie with tomato sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Yum. Well, couple of key techniques for making a great pie. Number one, a great filling. And that was all about caramelisation. It was about the onions, the beef, and it was allowing it all to collapse on itself so it holds all that gravy in the pie. The second thing is the perfect pastry. For this beef pie, it had to be that crumbly sour cream pastry so that it just soaks up all of that sauce and juice. Absolutely delicious. Hope you learned something. But there's a big week about to come. We're going to Italy. We're excited, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
But before we go, we've got one more little surprise outside. Come on.
Bit different this week.
Al fresco.
Dun, dun, dun. Look at this.
That is what you call a feast.
Just a little taste of Italy.
Has it ever been as special as this?
No way.
Okay, we've got something else that's a little bit special, Matt.
Go.
You want to start handing these around?
Yep.
Some little gift packs.
Alice,
Little boxes. You're flying business class with Qantas, so enjoy yourself.
Business.
A pink Nikon N1.
Hey, we got match, guys. I think this might be a little bit of a hint on where we're going.
Looks like you're living the dream. I just can't believe it.
Right, guys, let's tuck into some food.
Who wants that?
Girls, champagne.
Oh, look at that.
Kylie, champagne.
Bread.
Just a thought, but I think that this week is going to be spectacular.
Yeah.
Here's to Italy.
Cheers, guys. Cheers. And warmer weather.
Next time on MasterChef Australia.
Buongiorno, benvenuti in Italia.
It's the start of a week-long culinary adventure in Italy.
And as a foodie, Italy is it.
And their first stop, Rome.
Doesn't matter whether it's an old dish or a new dish. Each Roman dish tells a story.
For their first challenge, they team up to put Rome on a plate
What's not to love about this challenge?
with Italy's #1 chef, Massimo Bottura.
It's what I like.
And the gastronomic odyssey continues.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Dig deep, yeah?
Mamma mia! Clearly, things aren't going to plan.
This person is a culinary god.
Let the battle of the taste buds begin.
This is when it all kicks in and the fun starts.
Salute!
This is what we're here for. This is a lot of fun.
It seemed like cooked by my mother. Viva Italia! I am so